All world news here. I have the hand. 6/13/2017, 11:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What I have here is an article from 2015, which kind of caught my eye, and a few of the words that they talk about meta humans, so on and so forth. Everything's meta this, meta that. Well, this new ultra thin optic device shapes light in exotic ways. Exotic. Look at that keyword exotic. We got the word NASA, which stands for Satan, like Richie from Boston said, right? Now, if you take a look at this twisting light, right? Take a look at it, right? And we come over here, and we take a look at this. Now, you have the A down here, but that's the pyramid for the Illuminati. But let's listen to what he says.
It's also the Ouroboros, or the snake eating its tail.
Okay, now that we've got that much, this is the snake eating its tail, right? Now, when I come down here, I couldn't help but to notice the word metasurface. Metasurface, right? Let's just go over here because I want to play this out real quick because they're going to explain meta. You'll understand.
This is a pretty good indicator that Christ will return very soon. There are many prophecies in Daniel's time that could not come to fulfillment because the technology had not yet been invented. That is why Daniel was told to shut up the words and seal the book until the time of the end. One of those prophecies is found in Matthew 24, verses 21 and 22. For then there will be great tribulation, such as has not been since the beginning of the world until this time, no, nor ever shall be. And unless those days were shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened. Flesh is the Greek word sarx, which means flesh, body, human nature, especially a human being. Matthew 24:22 can be translated like this: and unless those days were shortened, no human nature would be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days will be shortened.
Do you ever wonder what life in the future will really be like? I certainly do. Well, the folks at National Geographic are bringing together the brightest minds in science, technology.
I believe I showed you a clip of that. So let's just jump forward to Mishukakyu.
Exciting future, but there are some speed bumps along the way. And I think that walking down the hall every 18 months, decades, we will have something.
Remember, guys, my reception is
much of human thought and human behavior.
Dave,
dropped.
artificial intelligence is moving forward. What about hybridized humanoid artificial intelligence, the combination of the two?
I think it's interesting because there's this debate in the community about whether we are going to make ourselves completely obsolete and almost destroy humanity by creating this artificial intelligence.
You heard what he said?
We just
Let's
If
listen.
they're drug addicts, for example, we've already seen that with drugs.
Are we going to enter the Matrix?
It seems like one of the places that we explore in the show is this idea that we are going to all connect our brains into something that is called the metaverse, which is
Metaverse.
hyper-realized, essential virtual reality existence that we can plug into. Now, is that...
So we haven't reached the Matrix yet, guys. No, we haven't. We're living the real life Matrix, but Metaverse is the Matrix. So I just want to jump back over here because they just got done talking about Metaverse, and now this is called Metasurface. And this schematic drawing shows how a metasurface can generate and focus rapidly polarized light. This is very important that we read. Researchers have developed innovative flat optic lenses as part of a collaboration between NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and the California Institute of Technology, which is Caltech, both in Pasadena, California. These optic components are capable of manipulating, keyword, manipulating light in ways that are difficult or impossible to achieve with conventional optic devices. Now, we were talking about robots. Richie and I and everybody else, we're talking about these robots with silicone-based skin that's kind of like real life like ours, right? Well, let's keep reading, guys. The new lenses are not made of glass. Instead, silicone nanopillars are precisely arranged into honeycomb pattern to create a metasurface. There's that word again. that can control the paths of properties of passing light waves. Applications of these devices include advances, microscopes, displays, sensors, and cameras that can be mass-produced using the same technologies used to manufacture computer microchips. And they're building robots now. It's 2 years later. It's 2017. This article was in 2015, guys. Let's keep reading. These flat lenses will help us to make more compact and robust imaging assemblies, said Mohammed Bagheera, a micro devices engineer at JPL and co-author of New Nature Nanotechnology. So this is nanotechnology. Study describes the devices. Currently, optic systems are made one component at a time, and the components are often manually assembled, said Andrea Ferran, an assistant professor of applied physics and materials sciences at Caltech, and the study's principal investigator. But this new technology is very similar to the one used to print semiconductors chips into silicone wafers. So you could conceivably manufacture millions of systems such as microscopes or cameras at a time. Seen under a scanning electron microscope, the new metasurfaces that the researchers created resemble a cut forest where only the stumps remain. Each silicon stump or pillar has an elliptic cross section. By carefully verifying the diameters of each pillar and rotating them around their axis, the scientists were able to simultaneously manipulate the phases and polarization of passing light. Phase has to do with the separation between peaks of light waves, the light waves in phases which with each other combine to produce a single, more powerful wave. Manipulating its phase influences the degree to which a light ray bends, which in turn influences whether an image is in or out of focus. Polarization refers to the ways some light waves vibrate only in particular direction, whereas waves in natural sunlight vibrate in all directions. Manipulating the polarization of light is essential for the operation of advanced microscope cameras and displays. The control of polarization also enables simple gadgets such as 3D glasses and polarized sunglasses. If you think of a modern microscope, it has multiple components that have to be carefully assembled inside, Ferran says. But with our platform, we can actually make each of these optical components and stack them atop one another very easily using an automated process. Each component is just a millionth of a meter thick, or less than a hundredth of thickness of a human hair. Now, remember, they use the word millionth. Well, what's the name of that TV show? Year Million. Hello? Year Million. So let's keep reading. Well, I don't want to keep reading. Well, yeah, I guess so. Additionally, the new flat lenses can